Oh, I think we're live.
Hello.
Let me just double check here. Yes, okay. So we are live according to my other app. So, and I think I also heard sound. So I think we're, uh-oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear
Is there
us?
sound now? Is there sound now? Can you let us know if, yeah, there's sound. Yay, we
Yay.
did it. Hello, Adam. Thank you for joining us. Um, let us know where you're from, Adam. Hello. And we had a hi mom up there, hi kiddo. Um, and um, and Kyle is with us. Thank you so much, and I'm glad. Thank you for letting us know about the sound. I had it doesn't really matter what happened, but there was a technical difficulty, and we solved it, and that's the important part. So I'm glad that we have solved it. Joe is wearing my Snoopy
Blanket.
blanket that was sent to us by our nephew for
See
Christmas.
it?
It's so cute.
Yeah, it's cold, so.
It's cute, and I'm glad that we have sound. Adam, if you don't mind, please tell us where you're from. Oh, Kelowna. So he's from BC.
Kelowna.
And how's it? How's the weather out there? I know the weather has been up and down out in BC for a while. We're just hitting our snowstorm. But you know, other than that, things have been okay weather-wise over here. But how are things been over there in the last few days? Adam?
Yes, Atari and Snoopy.
Yeah, that's what Kyle has said.
Yeah. There was a Snoopy game on Atari. I think there was a couple of them.
Yeah, I have no idea about that. Adam's saying typical here, maybe plus 2 or 3. glad to know that things are more typical than atypical or unusual there, because it has been quite the weather situation here in the last day or so. And there's FD. Hello, FD. Thank you for joining us. Lou. Hi. And glad that we're on our snow day live stream, because as we were saying, we missed last week. I wasn't feeling well last week. Strange stuff. I don't know if anyone might have any kind of insights into this, but for 3 days running, at around 8 or 9 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m., my temperature would, like, I would start getting very, very cold, and then my temperature would rise to a low-grade fever, and wouldn't break until pretty much the morning. And that happened like 3 days in a row, and wasn't quite sure what to make of the sort of the weird sort of the evening patterning of it. If anybody knows anything about like medical stuff, or have any insights into
your forehead was warm and your underneath your chin, but you weren't
and my neck.
really. Your throat wasn't sore or anything like
No,
that.
the only symptom that I had was these low grade fevers that would kind of happen in the evenings, and in the fourth evening it also went up a little bit, but not to the degree that it was like bad pun, but going up for the first 3 nights. But yeah, I have no idea what had happened. But Adam was saying, I'm originally from Ontario, so I'm well familiar with Ontario weather. This is pretty. The snow out there today was pretty, more than Ontario typical for sure. And I think that my understanding is that it's going to be snowing like this overnight, so we'll see what it'll be like tomorrow as well. But I read someplace, probably on Blog TO, that they closed the Gardner and the DVP
The 401.
because the weather. No, I don't think
no,
that. I don't think that they closed the 401, but I think people are stuck on the 401. There have been
people have been stuck on the 401 for hours.
For hours, like 8 hours or something crazy like that. So we got out and
we were actually on the Gardner. We went out today for a drive. I didn't think it was going to be that bad until we actually got out there. So we went along the Gardner. I was only going about 40 kilometers an hour, like super slow. And along the way, we saw like a bunch of cars, like at the side of the road, like just went into a snow pile or something. And yeah, lots of accidents. So we made it back in one piece.
Yes, thankfully. But yeah, glad it was a bit of an adventure, but I think like almost like foolish adventure.
Yeah, there was no cars on the Gardner. Like we were like
very few.
Very few.
Well, I mean, there's a video that I put up, we put up just a couple of hours ago about our little adventure today. Very short, like 4 minutes, if you're interested in seeing what that looked like. Kyle says 27 degrees Fahrenheit here, light dusting of snow on the ground, patchy ice, not as bad as expected. 27 degrees. So somebody on TV yesterday did a math thing, or whatever we were watching on YouTube, did a math thing. So my understanding with figuring out Fahrenheit to Celsius is 27 minus 32 divided by 2 and times a percentage, which sounds like a really good thing to learn and a good thing to do with my head, just to to have to do like good exercise kind of thing. But I feel like it'll probably just be easier to look it up online. But I don't know what 27 degrees, but it sounds like it would be in the minuses in the Celsius. And Ifty is saying, I was speaking with a friend of mine. She said it was 12 degrees in Victoria. That sounds nice in Victoria. Wow. I mean, Victoria, my understanding, is just nice generally anyway. And I think in regards to my question about the fevers, my medical team couldn't pinpoint it. No, they, I mean, I'll have an appointment with them on Wednesday, and I'll mention it to them, and hopefully they'll have some kind of thoughts on it, or maybe they're like, you're fine. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
But
think it was a bug too, because I mean, I felt um, like a little sneezy, and then I'm fine.
yeah, we don't
And I didn't
know.
have a sore throat or anything.
Yeah,
So.
we really don't know what it could have been, but it's tough just with Omicron and everything like that, because the symptoms are so unclear at this point, I think. So, um, Kyle was saying, guess that's -3 for those. Yeah, so I think we have a few Canadians on here, so that helps. So thanks so much, Kyle. 4-1 is partially closed at Kiel right now. Yeah, I mean, no one should be out. Like, no one should have been like dumb like us and out today. So I mean, I think it's for the best that.
Well, at nighttime it's probably
Even
even
worse.
worse.
Yeah, at this point, because it's completely, yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
9 o'clock here, so it's pitch dark. So yeah, glad that I mean, it was an interesting experience to go out and see what the city was like. And I knew that there was like a snowstorm, didn't expect the kind of snow on the ground that we have right now, and for people online to be like hashtagging like snowmageddon and all that kind of stuff.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure, that it's totally snowmageddon. But
Cue the Aerosmith music. Because they did
oh,
the
they had
movie
Armageddon. They did the thing
Armageddon,
for Armageddon.
whatever that song was.
If he says still snowing out now, yeah, we can't really see out, but yeah, wouldn't surprise me that if that's the same that's happening over here. Better to feel sneezy there, Joe. Much more than dopey. I would have to say I'm more dopey.
Yes.
For sure, for sure. And I think looks like there's a bot there. I don't know what to do about that. And Karma, Carol, hello, good evening.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing okay. And of course, Karma is in California, so she saw all the snow in our video and was probably like, whoa, that's a lot of snow. And actually, it is quite a bit of snow that we got today. So I'm sure where you are, Karma, it's not yeah, you don't get snow like that. But there are parts of California that do have snow. Isn't that right, though? I mean,
well, Vegas does.
Nevada.
Like that video we saw.
Nevada.
Nevada, I should say.
Mm-hmm. And I know that there are areas of California that do as well, but I don't know, like, it's not at this level. So this is we're doing this is a snow day situation. And Nifty says, yep, towards Tahoe, lots of snow. So yeah, but I kind of just thought that it was fun to document a little bit of as we went out today.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of stores are closed.
Everything was closed.
Lots of stores are closed. And I mean, in any place that
people waiting for the sidewalks were completely covered, and people are actually walking on the road because there was nowhere for them to walk
on the sidewalk. And and I think you were saying that the people waiting for buses, they were all on the road because there was no place for them to wait on the sidewalk. So yeah, and
we even saw like a little mini snow plow that plows sidewalks, and that guy was stuck. He was just like sitting there.
Yeah, like half.
Some buses like just stuck.
Some buses were stuck, and yeah, it's looking pretty dire out there today. Kyle is saying, if you're dopey, then I guess that makes me Snow White. You'll need six more dwarves, I guess. And then you can cook and clean for us. Is that what Snow White kind of did for the dwarves? I'm not quite sure. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've watched Snow White, but my understanding is that they're coming up with a live action
I don't think they should do that.
Yeah,
I
I
hate
don't.
it when they do that.
Yeah, I'm not a
Just
big fan of
create something
Disney
new.
Disney doing that sort of
Just
things.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's I think in the plans. I'm just mentioning what I heard. Not that I mean I'm anybody hearing anything. So happy snow day to those folks who are experiencing it. But even if you're not, thank you for celebrating snow day with us. And just as an aside, it would have been Betty White's birthday, 100th birthday today.
Yeah.
So just want to say happy birthday, Betty White. And I mean, she was almost there. She was
Yeah.
almost made it to
I
100.
saw when I went to the post office, and then on the way out, I saw the magazine rack, and I guess it was People
People.
magazine. They said happy 100th birthday or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe that was printed beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I think what happened was that in anticipation of Betty White's 100th birthday today, people did an exclusive interview with her, and they were going to do the happy birthday Betty White. So
Hmm.
they went ahead and published the
Hmm.
magazine. I think as they were going to um, for her. So I think that is what that was. But yeah, I mean, totally. Yeah, like it would have been her 100th birthday, and that would have been really, really cool. And um, Betty was a genuine rock star. And I think I've learned a little bit more about her since her death. I guess it would have been a couple of weeks ago, a week and a half ago or so. And she really was. I mean,
Hmm.
she really was a trailblazer and very cool.
Yeah. There's some things I learned about her that I didn't know. Like she had her own show in the 50s, black and white. So
Hmm.
it's yeah. I mean, she was
There were
on television from the very beginning.
But there
So
were three iterations of that show, and there was one show where there were advertisers who she had um, an African American musician or player actor on her show, and there were like people affiliates in different parts of the country that apparently were complaining about that and said, take him out, otherwise we're going to drop your show. And what she ended up doing is giving the guy more screen time, and so she ended up getting
hmm.
canceled. And but that didn't mean that, like, so but it turned into a different kind of a show. And so her show, it started out as a Betty White show, but then there was that situation and turned into a different kind of a show, and then different kind of a show. So it was like a variety show and then something else, and then it ended up being um, some kind of a comedy, I think, or something like that. But just hearing that, was like a very, very cool thing.
Hmm.
And as a woman who was, had the opportunity to get her own show, and then to be able to say, well, this is what I want to do with this opportunity and the privilege that I have is, I think, like really amazing. So Ifty was saying, yes, it was Joe. I read that somewhere as well. I'm not
The
sure.
People's
Oh, the
Magazine thing.
People
Yeah.
magazine thing. Yeah. And Gabby's
Hi,
here.
Kathy.
Yay, Betty White. And yes, and not, and yeah, just so many different amazing things about her,
Hmm.
and like specifically around like her animal advocacy is really, really awesome. Because honestly, like, how do you trust people who don't like animals? Donald Trump. Just saying. But yeah, so it just felt like it was right to acknowledge that it would have been her birthday today, her 100th birthday. Which, I
Hmm.
mean, but like, wow, like 99. That's
Yeah.
that's that's pretty cool. And oh, the other thing I also did want to mention is Bob Saget. We
Hmm.
actually talked about Bob Saget during our uh,
Norm.
no rock thing. Like we had that, like the worst rock festival ever, and we were talking about who should host it, and I was saying it's like, well,
Oh.
look, some of us had hosting, and I was just like Andrew Dice Clay, but then like somebody, or we ended up talking a little bit about Saget, Bob Saget, as a result of that, I think. And he passed away last Monday, I guess a week ago today. And so sad. I mean, I hmm, I think that the idea that
He was
he,
65, by the way.
yeah, I mean, I don't know that, maybe maybe it had something to do with his death. If he's asking, did they say how he died
No,
and the
they don't
cause of
know.
death? They don't know. They know for a fact that it's not drug related. There has been no foul play, and they're expecting that it's going to be a couple of months for an autopsy. But for those of you who don't know what happened, he passed away in his sleep after having done a gig in
Florida.
Florida, and when he didn't check out, the hotel people checked in on him and found that he was unresponsive. And Kyle was saying, and we talked about the aristocrats as a discussion too. And of course, like they're kind of all the same folks, the Gilbert Gottfrieds and the Jeff Rosses and um, and just I think the things that were coming out about him, just that I've learned about Bob Saget in the last week, has been a pretty amazing guy who has apparently been like really, he was a very, very generous, kind guy, and I actually am like was inspired to start something or want to start something as a result of some of the things that I learned about him, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But Karma says, I walked past Bob going into a coffee house on Fifth Street in Santa Monica back in the 90s. He's probably a tall guy. He looks like a really tall guy. And that would have been probably what the sort of the pinnacle of like his
Full
fame,
House,
Full
yeah.
House, and America's
Funniest
home videos. So yeah, I mean, we never got the opportunity to see him live, but I think one of the things that I is through Aristocrat, and also I was a big Norm Macdonald fan. I knew that Norm really loved Bob Saget, so I'm one of those, I guess, like people who are like, if you're into him, then I'm sure he's okay by me, sort of a thing. Kathy is saying it was eye-opening and heartwarming to hear all the stories and see how loved he was. Yeah, it's so true. and even I think that there was an Instagram live with Jeff Ross and John Mayer, and they went to get his Prius from the airport, and they went live. They did a live stream on Instagram about just talking about that experience of getting the Prius out, but also what Bob meant to them, and that was really, really cool. Karma says he seemed happy. Yeah, I think, well, also I've been listening to a couple of podcasts. Like he had his own podcast too. Like that's again, like I'm going to talk a little bit about like what he sort of inspired me to do a little bit later on. But one of my favorite podcasts is WTF with Mark Maron, and Bob Saget was on Maron's podcast 3 times, and he was a guy who experienced a lot of tragedy and loss in his life, but he was also somebody who was able to joke about things, and even very sad things and even dark things. But also because he was, I think, a big feeler. Part of his need to joke came from being able to deal with a lot of these really hard things that he had experienced. And I feel in a lot of ways that I I'm not similar in the way that I'm as funny as Bob Saget is, but I'm someone who I think like sees absurdity in a lot of things, and even in my like situation and things like that. I like to. I just I know my brain goes to like funny sort of like jokey places around certain things, and I know like sometimes that even makes like Joe uncomfortable, but I don't know. What do you think?
It doesn't make me uncomfortable.
When I joke about things,
No.
like when I say we should have a rehearsal.
No, it doesn't.
Then why? Okay, so I only mentioned that because one of the things that I've been saying is like if you know like one of the things, this is gonna sound, I don't know how this is gonna sound, I'm just gonna put it out there. So one of the things that I worry about is how people who truly care about me, how they're going to be the moment after I pass. And my feeling is like if we rehearse the moment enough, then it would not be as intense, because it's like with anything else, right? Like if you do anything over and over and over and over and over again, then it's maybe not going to have like the same impact, as the same kind of an impact as something that is happening like really intensely for the first time. So I got it into my head, and I'm totally serious about this too, of like trying to rehearse what it might be like. And Joe has
No. 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 No.
so I don't know. Like I took that as being uncomfortable, but anyway, that was like a little story about some of my strangeness, and like I have other strange things all the time. I'm all excited to open your gift box. Can't wait to see your smiles. Yes.
Yes.
We were wondering about when to do it, but I think tonight would be a really awesome time to do it. So, I have a couple of questions for everyone out there. I'm hoping to help us out, and then we're gonna actually open the box that Kyle had sent us. Really excited. Really excited. Yeah, I have a couple of questions, and I'm hoping that you can help us out with. And Kyle says like hashtag dress rehearsal.
You need a kid.
However you needs it, right? But I might be the only person like rehearsing it, so that might be a little strange. So so we are really excited to open Kyle's box that he sent us, and we'll be doing that momentarily. But okay, two questions that I have. One is like just totally stupid, which is, can anyone explain to me what Wordle is? Because Wordle seems to be like a big thing that lots of people are talking about, and I have no idea what it is. I don't know where it's coming from. Is it an app?
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss word. Wordle. Yertle the turtle.
It does, maybe.
I've never heard that word before.
I don't think it's a word. I think it's a thing, like an app or a thing. Kyle says I'm right with you though. My family isn't amused. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like I could come up with like the weirdest, like, like black humor type stuff. I mean, I had it before, my diagnosis. I don't think like it stopped. Um, but Ifty says, Subdued came up with an app where each day you have to unscramble a set of letters.
Oh, so it's like a phone
Wordle,
game.
the phone game. Yeah, I guess it's still the phone game. So Ifty, like when you say like some dude came up with an app, like what's the big deal with this thing though? Because like so many people are talking about it, and I'm like, how is this any different from any like kind of word game that people could be playing. It's like, what's
Is it
the?
like Scrabble? Oh, probably not.
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking, because I see it being referenced in the last, I don't know, like a couple weeks or so, where like a lot of people are talking about Wordle and referencing Wordle seems to be a thing, and I'm like, well, what's the big deal with Wordle? And yeah, see, like this, if he says, I see it splashed all over Twitter every day, and not necessarily just like ad wise, that people are talking about their Wordle or something, or today's Wordle, something or other. And I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what about this Wordle is. Wordle sounds like a Pokemon, is what it sounds like, because Squirtle.
I think it sounds like a Dr. Seuss book.
Yeah, I mean that.
Word.
Yeah, that too. But it's also, I think, a very Pokemon kind of a thing. Kyle says, keeping your sense of humor through it all is paramount. So if it was dark before, all the better now. I pretty much laugh at anything. And that probably would get me into trouble in a lot of different ways. But I can find the humor in pretty much anything. And I doubt that that'll change. And I think when it does, that's when those rehearsals are very, very necessary. Karma says, I don't mind it. It provides a comic relief from what we're living through. Suppose. Are we talking about the dark humor? Or are we talking about Wordle? Karma, an Android app where you get six tries to guess the word. Oh, okay. So kind of like maybe like a mix of Wheel of Fortune type of deal.
So it would be like what, something like it tells time, and you would have to guess the word.
I know we would have to try to play. If this is no Wordle. Yeah. And Karma Googled it.
No hands.
Okay. But what I'm trying to understand about this Wordle thing is what it is about it that seems to have sort of captured a lot of people's attention. Is it, what's so special about this Wordle in relation to all the other kind of apps that are out there? Does anyone out there know that? Joe's bored.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I bet somebody knows. I'm hoping somebody knows. I can look this up myself, but I like it when people teach me things. So, but like I said, like I've just been seeing it. Not that I actually haven't been on social media a lot in the last couple of weeks because I hadn't been feeling well. And it just seemed like and all of a sudden this Wordle showed up, and it felt like I don't know, like I had like slept through, like I was in a time capsule or something, because it was like so huge all of a sudden. And so I was just trying to be like, what happened? I can't figure out what happened. So I guess I should just figure that out for myself. So at least I know it's an app. That's the part that I sorted out. And I guess it's also the same word for everybody. It seems like, right? Like it's not just a random word for different people, but it's the same word for everybody. So whatever it is that you're trying to figure out, you're kind of, it feels like maybe
Wordle.
What?
It's a Wordle. Wordle? What is that?
What?
Go on.
What's that?
Nothing.
What's that? Like, is an impression of something?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So I can't remember what I was saying. Kyle was saying, guessing just a passing fad that caught on for a bit. Short attention span theory for the day. Okay. And Karma was saying there might be more to it. I looked quickly. Yeah, I think that maybe there's something about sort of like a communal thing too. So it's probably a challenge for everybody, for those who play it. But then there is maybe something about the fact that it's the same word, so everybody is solving the same problem or something. Because I think that's an interesting concept, that rather than you're playing these games as individuals, but you're not necessarily but there is a connection because you're all figuring out what that one word is, the same word is, for everybody who's playing it or something. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up because all those kinds of things are interesting to me. Okay, so the next question for everybody is, Joe and I, our anniversary is on Thursday. Yes, January 20th. Yes, January 20th. Our anniversary is this Thursday. We have a lot of restrictions. We don't have restaurants that we can eat in. We don't. There's a lot of challenges. Curious to know if you might have some suggestions for us on how we can celebrate our anniversary. So if y'all can put on your creative thinking caps and suggest some stuff for us to do, or maybe collectively we can come up with some crazy ideas for our anniversary that I thought would be a kind of a fun thing for us to do. So if you have any suggestions, that would be awesome. And or scramble orgy, yeah, for everybody trying to figure it out, but they're all by themselves. I think EST said happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Not quite yet, but we're almost there.
Couple more days.
Ours is last Friday. Yay. Happy anniversary to you. Woo! What did you guys do last Friday? We'd love to know.
Thank you.
Thanks, Karma. Dr. Carol.
It's 15 years. Did you know that?
Yes. Yeah. I did the math. Check out Carne Cartel on Instagram, a food truck in Scarborough. Amazing food. Oh. Abby's here. Hey, Abby. Good to see you, Abby. We're just talking about the fact that it's Joe and I. Okay, for two things. If you know what Wordle is, please let me know, and why like everybody is totally into Wordle, because I don't know. And number two, Joe and I were celebrating our anniversary, our 15th year anniversary on Thursday, and you know what the situation is with
no restaurants,
Ontario. So if you have any suggestions, we're trying to maybe like cobble up
A&W, baby. The sky is
A&W.
Which I actually had. I did get takeout
today.
A&W. It was actually pretty good. So.
Yeah. Not my kind of takeout. Thank you, Abby. But Abby does not know Wordle. I am sort of like this weird, like, I don't know what Wordle is. I have a weird fascination. Because games...
We'll play Wordle on our
anniversary. that would be our big thing for our anniversary, our 15th anniversary. Cheryl's here too! Woo! Hi, Cheryl!
Hi.
Cheryl started playing Wordle. Mm-hmm. So maybe Cheryl can tell us like what the big deal is. Like, why is everybody into Wordle? Kyle says, happy anniversary, couple of days. If you're stuck on the homestead, maybe he makes you breakfast. Mm-hmm. We can talk about this. Breakfast in bed. You have a communal lunch, and then you do a his choice dinner, so all gets a little pampering. Can we talk about Joe's cooking?
Oh, oh, don't. I made you a soup the other night when you weren't feeling good.
And how did you make that soup?
I got a can opener. I opened up the can, heated up the soup. Didn't have to add water. Followed the directions, and it was actually pretty good. And she ate some of it, and then I left the bowl on top of the table, and then our cat ate the rest of the soup.
Yeah, and you didn't believe me.
It was chicken noodle rice.
Yeah, so I was feverish, so I don't remember a whole lot. So I had like a couple of spoonfuls, put it down, and then saw Sagi have her head in it, but I was so tired that I was just sort of like watching what was going on. And then I don't know what Joe was doing, but he was away for a bit and he came back and
The
he
bowl
goes
was empty.
and you're like, "Oh, good for you. You ate all the soup." And I'm like, "Oh." I said the cat ate all the soup, and Joe's like,
Yeah,
"No,
that was
she
crazy.
didn't." Yep, ate all the soup. But that is to illustrate Joe's ability to cook. And I mean, it might be okay. It could be a challenge. It might be interesting. Kathy says something Disney related. So I think we talked about this before, but Joe and I, we were married on Disney World property, had the smallest wedding that Disney probably have ever hosted. And but I thought it was really lovely. And it was.
You couldn't do that now. There's no way.
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think
No
so.
way.
I mean, it was part of a package. Like you have to go through a package. But I did a lot of research and a lot of kind of figuring a lot of things out to be able to
Yeah, it was beautiful.
cut as many corners as possible. But yeah, I think
And
it was
actually,
lovely.
the area where we were married was this like little, I shouldn't say an island, but
So we got, for anyone who has any if you know anything about Disney World, we got married at the Polynesian Resort and in the outside beach area. And there's an extension from the resort, the Polynesian Resort, to toward Seven Seas Lagoon, I think they call it. And so it's like this little walkway and stuff, and it was like very like beautiful. And even just to take a walk out there, probably on sunset or something like that, would really be amazing. And
you could see the lake and everything like that.
And not that like I'm not at all like a Disney princess person or anything like that, but some people get married at Disney because they're big Disney princess people, and this castle is a big deal. To be able to see the castle or to get married with the castle within eyesight or something like that. And one of the sort of the selling points of this particular location that we got married in was the fact that you could see Cinderella's castle like teeny weeny weeny in the background. I mean, again, I don't really care about that, but that was one.
No, it was a beautiful view, a beautiful day. I think now though we saw like a video where that same spot they put these like huts. Well, I shouldn't say huts, but cottages where you can rent like.
They're primo.
Yeah, so they kind of ruined that area because there's a bunch of rooms there.
Yeah, so. They've monetized it. But Kathy was with us and attended the wedding. So yeah, something Disney. Well, I mean, I'm still a little obsessed with what goes on at Disney World, even though I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'll ever like make it back there again. But just like it used to be such a place where I think people can just sort of like park their cynicism at the front gate and kind of go and have just this silly fun, um, quote unquote magical time. And what they've done with Disney World, the parks, it's unfortunate because it's become sort of like a big cash cow. Like
Hmm.
it's everything is sort
Cash
of
grab,
cash
yeah.
grab and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah. There's a CEO who, not Bob Iger, but he did some stuff too. But this other guy, Bob Chapek or Chapek,
no, cheap.
Chapek.
Yeah,
So this guy was just like he got rid of everything. So
and start
it's
charging for
yeah, like there
everything.
was a bus called the Magical Express that if you were staying on property, it would pick you up from the airport and take you to your resort, which was great. And under this guy's rule, he just like scrapped that whole thing.
So scrapped so many things,
So
so
it
many
doesn't make
perks,
it's
and
so expensive now. He raised all the prices on to stay there, so it's not even really worth it to stay
mhm,
on Disney
for so many
property.
different reasons
Yeah.
too. But Polynesian resort where we got married, like we said that we didn't stay there when we got married, but it's $700 US a night,
Hmm.
to stay at the Poly, and it's still not everything is open, because of COVID restrictions and
It's
things like
insane.
that. And yet, it's still like $700 a night, and things are, and it's also based on like seasons and things like that.
Hmm.
So that's, and they're themed in weird ways too.
Hmm.
Because if you're paying $700 a night for a hotel room, do you want it to be themed like a Disney animated movie like Moana?
Hmm.
I don't know,
Like
because
a lot of the
they're not necessarily kids friendly.
yeah, a lot of the IP stuff. They, I mean, that video we saw where I think it was The Incredibles. They did some sort of rooms like The Incredibles, so they just put up some stickers or decals.
That's in the contemporary.
Yeah, and it was like $900 or something, and it's like,
It's about the same with
yeah, like
Polly
why would
70.
you pay for this when like it just looks like an ordinary room with some like Incredibles, pictures on the
Mm-hmm.
wall or whatever, right? Like it's
And
just
the thing
insane.
specifically with contemporary is another resort, that was, open day one with, Disney World when they opened up 50 years
Hmm.
ago, is that, the contemporary at the time was a very kind of, modern contemporary kind of a resort. But one of the things that they did with the contemporary is they made it a convention center, and so they do conventions there. And part of the argument is like, why would people want to pay whatever hundreds of dollars a night to stay there for a convention, and then have like the Incredibles theming?
Hmm.
Because it's not like you're there with your family or whatever it is. So it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Basically, I think Disney has gotten greedy and really lazy. Like when they throw things together, like this Star Wars hotel. This, I
Oh,
mean,
we'll talk about that in a second.
okay,
We have a lot of like comments that we
okay.
just want to get to. So, Ifty, I think for his, anniversary, watch the Eternals on Disney Plus.
Haven't seen it.
We're that's on our, list of
Yeah.
things to watch now
Was
that
it
it
any
is on.
good?
Joe was saying that it's super
I
long
heard it's
too.
super long and
Yeah, we've been watching,
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett, which we both have opinions on. Joe has a lot of opinions on it. Kyle hasn't. I don't know if Kyle started watching it with his wife yet, but if you have, maybe we can talk about it a little bit. I'm not sure. Cheryl is saying, there's one word of the day. Everyone gets the same word. It's not an app. It's online. Whatever you do, don't share the answer. Right. So
Okay.
it is like this communal, kind of an experience that people get to have, with each other. But yeah, that's really cool. Um,
Maybe for our anniversary we can play that and play Monopoly as well. Back to back.
uh, Wordle reminds me of Mastermind. Carmen was laughing at something. Abby saying the cat is awesome. Are we talking about a cat? Did Kudo show up at some point?
She was here, but I don't think she was on camera. So.
Okay. Kyle is eggs over hard, soggy, cold hash browns, burnt bacon, and scorched toast. The breakfast of champions.
Mm,
Joe won't even touch eggs, I don't
no,
think. So
don't like
not even no, but not even to cook for me. You probably
no, I could crack an egg.
Joe doesn't know how to cook, so
Chuck it in a pan, fry it up.
Abby's saying, wait, what about what? If you could tell me what you're waiting about, I'd be happy to talk about it. Renew your vows on a live stream, maybe. I volunteer. Oh, that's sweet. Like we talked about that. Abby says, I don't know anyone who had a Disney fantasy wedding. I don't know that I would necessarily call it a fantasy wedding. um,
There was more chairs there than people.
Even though they knew how many people were going to show up to.
Yeah, they set up like 50 chairs.
No, they did not. No,
there was Kathy. There's at least 50 chairs.
There was not. He is crazy. One of the things I think that I was. Crazy. You are crazy. There were
25 chairs on each side.
Not. No.
There was.
No.
There was a lot of chairs.
$100.
What?
$100. $100.
I think.
$100.
No. Well, give me a second.
No, you.
I gotta go by my memory. There was a lot of chairs.
There weren't a lot of chairs. Just psychopath. I didn't know there was even an option to get married at Disney World, or just. I'm telling you, like we had like 6 people. Yeah. And one of the things that was very specific to that location at the Polynesian is that it was one of the smaller weddings, and I think that the max number of people that you can have in that location is 9, and that is the reason why there is no way that there would have been 50 chairs because like everything in the literature said that the max number of people that you can have at that location is 9. But one of the things that I'm thinking of doing, if I can figure out how, is to convert the video that we have of our wedding and put it up, because it's pretty funny, I think. Our officiant looked like Bill Clinton.
Yeah, he did.
That's what you said.
Yeah, he was big.
Yeah.
Big guy.
Yeah. Again, if you're still snowed in, Disney house party. Yeah, maybe. Hey, kiddo. I like Silver Knight's Kyle's suggestion for the vow renewal. That's a really good idea. Just like, and again, Kathy was there. I should say the whole thing was brilliant. So happy got to be a part of it. So glad that you were there.
Yes. Yeah, I think everyone had fun. It was a really fun wedding. It was a celebration, and
there were birds that attacked you.
Yeah, there were birds that flew out of nowhere and attacked us.
Joe, you have like a penchant
scoop down from the sky. It's like Hitchcock's The Birds. It was like that.
It was nothing.
There's a picture of me running down the dock going,
Yes, there is actually, which is hilarious. So funny.
They were like black ravens, or I don't know what they were. Crows, or...
Cheryl's saying, our friends were just there, got the VIP escort for $800 an hour.
$800 an hour?
Yep, and it's also,
oh my god!
But it's also minimum of 8 hours, I believe. So it's
jeez. And that's US too, right?
Well,
so.
Yes, it would be. I think my understanding it's for VIP it's $800 an hour, minimum 8 hours. You get I think up to 10 people that you could have with your VIP. So technically, if you had a bunch of people who wanted to shell out like $1,000 each, they can have that's like roughly like $10,000, right? You can have this amazing Disney World VIP experience. Denise is just hopping in to say just a hello before bedtime. Snoopy
Hi.
love. Thank you, Denise.
Do you see it?
It's Snoopy. I put all the Snoopies on the side today because sometimes they're just falling on top of us. So, Kathy's LOL. Joe must have had some champagne or something because I don't remember all those chairs.
I do.
So, $100.
I'm not going to bet $100.
Why?
Because maybe you're right.
Because
I don't want to lose $100.
maybe because you're right. Sorry for the typos. I didn't know you can get married at Disney, but it makes sense now that I think about it. This is Abby. I want to see the video or the photos. Yeah. So if you're interested, Abby, there is actually, and if you happen to have access to Disney Plus, they have like I guess it's a giant kind of commercial for people who want to have princess weddings. They have Disney fairy tale weddings show where they have like these like major people, major like Disney people. I don't want to be uh, I don't want to be insulting in any way, but there are some people who are like Disney people, and they are, and on top of that, like you can imagine Disney people plus bridezilla types, right? Who are getting married at Disney World. I have an opportunity to get this married at Disney World, and they yeah, there's a show on Disney Plus that has people their stories of, but they're the big ones, they're the huge ones where they have like the major domos and they have characters and they have, I mean, and I don't even understand like why you would want to have like a character, or people would rent the Cinderella carriage and all this kind of stuff. And of course, like every single thing is just like an extra and extra and extra and extra. So at the time that so we're going back to 2007. So by the time that I was and we were planning our wedding. You didn't really plan our wedding. You just pretty much showed up.
I just showed up.
But the planning that I was doing it all online because we didn't necessarily go to, and it was just really my excuse to be able to go to Disney World because I've always wanted to go to Disney World.
But you made friends and relationships with some of these Disney bride people.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so I was doing everything online, and there were these websites, these forums of Disney brides, and it got really it's so interesting because there were two tiers of Disney weddings at that point. I'm sure all kinds of things have changed since then, but so there was like the big fancy, I forgot what they called it, but there was the big fancy ones that cost like lots and lots and lots of money, and then there were the ones that were under like 15 people or something like that. And then, like I mentioned, like we got like the smallest one possible, but still like really lovely. But even on these forums, there are these women who are, sharing their details and who their wedding planner is, and they got to go and do the cake tasting and this and that, and all the planning and blah blah blah. And there are these forums, and it got like really competitive, which isn't that surprising, but at the same time, very weird to be a part of, because all I was doing was just trying to get information about how to plan a Disney wedding. But some people were like super into it,
Mm-hmm.
to say the very least. I remember there was this one woman who I think at the time had the most extravagant wedding out of the people um, who were planning weddings at the time, and she was so and the most expensive kind of wedding that you can have is a park shutdown, and a wedding in front of the castle. That is, so the park shutdown, so that it's you and your wedding party that's only has is in the parks and in the park, and you get married in front of the castle. That is the
Wow.
most expensive with Disney wedding that you can have. And so there's this woman who was on one of these Disney um, forum things, and she would just be talking about like every single extra, and would just be so not so hospitable to the folks who were having lesser weddings, which was like everybody else. But I think, and then people, whether they're jealous or because they're, not sure about,
Would you say they were catty?
oh,
Like,
oh
they
yeah, I
say,
was,
I'm getting married in front of the castle.
well,
Were you getting married?
well, I don't know, like
Tomorrowland? The people mover?
oh my God, how much fun would that be actually?
That'd be funny.
But it is a forum,
Yeah.
so you can read it that way, I suppose.
Well, I'm getting married in front of Cinderella's castle. Where are you?
But so there are people offline that would be talking about this person's wedding, and they would like be adding up how much this wedding would have cost, and people were thinking somewhere in the they a park shut down on its own is $500,000 at the
Oh my
time.
God,
So
that's insane.
that
So that was 15 years ago.
that was
So
15 years
what?
ago.
They probably don't even do that.
No, they probably do for a park
Oh, it
shutdown.
must be so expensive now.
Oh yeah.
Even more.
Oh yeah. To have a shutdown park, and to get married in front of the like. I'm a little curious to look into it, but um, needless to say, ours was like a fraction, and like a very 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 small fraction of that.
But I will say, like, at that time, anyways, people were very friendly. Like Disney staff,
Excuse me.
they were very friendly, very helpful. Um, Even with the wedding and stuff, there was that one lady guiding us around to everything. And I actually tried to give her a tip, but she wasn't allowed to take it. I'm like, no, I insist. You've been fantastic and everything like that. And I literally had to, push $20 into her hand. I did. She's like, no, no.
You're like, she was so helpful. I tried to tip her $1. And she was like, no, no,
No,
keep your dollar.
I think it was $20.
No, no.
Maybe it was $5. Here. Please.
Please, please. You can't refuse.
I can't remember what she did, but she got us like from the fireworks to, I guess the shuttle bus or whatever.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
no, I think I gave her $20, $30. I don't think it was 100. You're helpful, but not I helpful. Oh, come on. Because you're not supposed to tip them. she could have been fired.
No, sir, I'm not being fired for a doll.
Yeah, wouldn't that be like, it'd be sad, like if the cameras caught her like taking money, and then she got fired the next day for taking.
Oh my
I
god.
hope not. But there was,
Kathy's saying, why is this not a reality?
but there is a difference with Disney at that time, where the staff were very bright and happy and friendly and willing to help. And then when we went to Universal, remember there was like old people running the rides and stuff. Like, remember we went to Dr. Seuss Land, and there was like that old guy dressed like Cat in the Hat, and he's sitting there running the ride. Do you remember?
I think your memory is not there.
And they were like all gruffy, like.
I
Remember, there was one grumpy couple in Disney, downtown Disney. There was a candy store, and we were getting candy.
Oh no, I remember this.
And there was like two older people, a man and a woman, and he was like doing whatever, getting candy together. I think it was cotton candy or something, or like fudge apples or whatever it was. And she was like, "No, you have to do it this way, Bert." He was like, "Brad's," or something like. He's just like. It's true. He's like, "Women," or something like that. That was funny. And I think they were dressed like dwarves.
No, they were not dressed like dwarves. You're like in an alternate reality.
No, it's true. It happened. He was like,
no,
"Women."
I know that there was like these two people at the candy store, and they had like this interesting sort of like rapport thing that was going on, but they were not dressed as dwarves.
Well, they were dressed as Goofy or something. Like like Goofy's outfit. That's what they were wearing. And they had the hats with the ears.
No.
At the candy store, these two old people.
So how did you figure that they look like dwarves?
Well, I can't remember exactly, but they were wearing some sort of Disney outfit.
They're all wearing
with
some
like
kind of Disney
with an
outfit.
open face, and they were scooping candy. Maybe it was ice cream or something. Whatever it was.
Goofy's Candy Company is like jelly beans and that kind of candy and crap like that.
And they were dressed like Goofy then.
They were
ears.
They were dressed as like people working in a store with an apron with a Goofy hat on. I think.
He was like, "Women."
But how is that dwarf? How does that have anything to do with dwarf?
Well.
Oh my god.
Downtown Disney doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
It does exist. It's called the Disney Springs. Abby says, "Wait, how can you be grumpy at the downtown candy?"
Oh, he was.
He was.
Like, "I'm making $6 an hour."
But he did specifically say broads.
Yeah, he would. Brads or dames. Maybe he said dames.
I think he said broads.
He went like dames.
Well, that's the magic of Disney for you.
But my point being is, like, 99.9% of the staff there were super helpful and everything like that, except for that guy. He was a little bit of a grump. But
they put on a show, though.
Yeah, but I don't think any of that stuff would, I think nowadays they're probably like people. I'm not saying like the staff's in a bad mood or anything now, but I'm sure it happens way more often now than it did back then, because they were like really tight with the whole Disney.
What was happening? What is happening now more than?
Well, I'm sure Disney, like the park anyway, is more concerned about just taking money from people than having the guest have a good experience, because they just push you through like cattle. And...
What's tricky is that the cast members, they're trained to be magical,
Right.
And I think that they've been given less leeway to do that because
Yeah.
part of Disney cast members, their job traditionally has been to be able to even like do something out of the ordinary. So like folks who might have gone to that downtown Disney Goofy's candy shop,
Mm-hmm.
if they see adult children alike, and they're like, like you look like you can use a bag of jelly beans today just for free, to spread a little bit of magic or whatever it is. That's what they were allowed to do, but I don't know that that's something that's within their purview or their ability to be able to do anymore, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cheryl saying she has company, so she was listening in earphones and learning about the chairs. Because he may be wrong, or I may be right, which is
How many people do you have coming to your wedding? I have 50 chairs coming to my wedding.
50 chairs coming out. Kyle asked you if you had a U.S. Marine shirt on.
You know what? I don't know, Kyle. I got this years ago. I believe it was my father's. And he was really into military stuff. It just says Marines on it. But I don't see if it was like from a gift shop, like an army gift shop, or maybe it looks a little too fancy. The type.
Soon, Abby.
I had one person ask me like, "Oh, were you a Marine?" I'm like, "No," and then I'm walking around with a shirt that says Marines. So I have no idea if it's legit shirt or not. I just wear it because it's comfortable and it's one of the few pieces of clothing that used to be his that I can fit into. So.
That's cool. I didn't know that was your dad's
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah, it was his shirt. So. T-shirt.
So that went like really off off the tracks. I think Abby's probably gone by now, but good night, Abby. Thank you for joining in. And so we're still kind of wondering about what our anniversary is. I think like Kyle's suggestion was really, really good, except the breakfast part probably wouldn't happen. It'll probably start with lunch.
Yes.
But if anybody else has any other ideas as you think about it, please just throw it in and we'll sort it out.
We were planning on having like a quiet dinner.
Yeah, which is sort of like what
nice dinner.
Yeah, what we typically do. But
we could watch the DVD of our wedding. That's
yeah, we could do that, and we could see once and for all how many
count chairs. The chairs. I told you there was 100 chairs.
Now it's become 100 chairs. There was no way. I could probably.
I remember walking down before waiting for you. I'm like, there's a lot of chairs there. Like I was nervous and everything, but I was like, there's a lot of chairs. So I could be wrong on memory.
How much would you put on it?
I'm not going to put anything on it.
Okay, so here we go. Kyle says, "Yep, that's what it is. It's called a PT shirt.
Oh,
it can
really?
be worn casually by civilians, though I wore through many like it while I was in there."
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Why is it called a PT shirt? Is there a reason why?
I'm sure he'll hopefully let us know. Candlelight. You know what, Karma? If we had candlelight, we'd probably knock it over and like set the place on Or there would be cats running around with their tails aflame.
Yeah. Speaking of candles, before the pandemic, we went to a restaurant that just opened. You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
and it used to be one of our favorite restaurants, and then it closed down and it became something else. And we went there, and they were trying to get all fancy and clever and so forth. And the dishes were expensive, but they weren't very good. They
They're
were
terrible.
weird. But the weird thing
It was
about
like a
the
Japanese
place,
fusion place,
yeah,
but
the weird thing about the place, it's like this smells this place, and they were using potpourri candles like on the tables where it was literally stinking up the place, and it was giving you a headache,
yeah,
and it was really off-putting
it
scent.
was really off-putting
So we
scent.
complained about it, and then they said, "Oh, we're so sorry. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of complaints, and from people." And it's like, well, why would you still be using these candles?
Number one.
Yeah, and you said too, like, as a dining environment, like, you never ever ever use scented candles. It's
Candles.
weird.
It's
So
well, yeah. I mean, it takes away from
the
people's ability to be able to taste food.
yeah, yeah, it
So
was really weird. Like,
it was really awful.
so
And
anyways,
yeah, like a very expensive meal for not very much and not very
yeah,
good.
it sucked.
But
So
it was a very strange thing because it was right before pandemic hit,
hmm
and like probably like a couple days
yeah,
until like everything started shutting down.
hmm
So
they're probably not there anymore.
they are there still. It's
Are they?
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So Cal says PT is for physical training.
Oh,
Well, we were
okay.
on runs, calisthenics, obstacle courses, runs and such.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Now I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Um, cats in fancy dresses. That would be so cute. Oh my god. But no, I don't think we could. I don't think they would go for it. Our anniversary was on the 13th. We got takeout from our favorite Hawaiian barbecue place and just enjoyed it at home.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. I was looking up butter mochi recipes again, Cheryl. I think I'm gonna probably try making some the next couple of weeks because I was like, oh, this looks really good. But what would constitute a Hawaiian barbecue? Like, is it the flavors or how it's prepared? What would be a typical Hawaiian barbecue plate? I would love to know that.
There was that show we saw, Gordon Ramsay. It's his take on. Um,
It was sort of like his like not very good version of Anthony Bourdain's
yeah, yeah.
show.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but it's not the same thing. So he travels the world. And
Yeah.
so there is an episode with Hawaii
Yeah,
where
where he goes to
they
Hawaii.
do barbecue.
Yeah.
I thought that was very interesting.
And Cheryl's teriyaki chicken. Oh, neat. So not like your typical kind of southern or Louisiana kind of or St. Louis kind of barbecue, but yeah, kind of like an Asian take on barbecue. That's really cool. Wish we had a place like that here.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to try out.
Yeah, Toronto doesn't have a lot of good restaurants.
It's funny because in sort of popular media, they'll say it's all Toronto is like multicultural and has all these restaurants and stuff like that. And we do have a lot of restaurants, but I don't. Not.
Yeah, the good ones end up closing, and then we get like stupid ones open up in their place.
I don't know. I don't know about stupid, but it's not as diverse or as good as I think a lot of people kind of hype it up to be here in Toronto. But let's get Kyle's box.
I'll get it. I'm opening.
We're gonna unbox. So Yelling. So, just as a explanation, Kyle sent us a box of stuff, and we decided to unbox it live on live.
Yeah.
Live online is what I meant
We
to
got
say.
it.
And just excited to do
Yeah.
that. So this is
Yeah.
okay.
Dress up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you, Kyle. I mean, it's so crazy. Thank you for sending this.
When
We
he was saying, when Joe
appreciate
was
it.
saying so crazy, he's looking at the postage. And,
Yeah, I know. It's so expensive to send stuff.
and it takes forever right now.
It takes forever, yeah.
Holy moly. Justin, hello Justin Matthew from Toronto. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hope you're keeping warm. I hope all is well with you too. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us, and hope you're weathering Snowmageddon as we are.
Yeah. And people in Montreal are probably like, Toronto people playing
We're
about.
just in the process, Justin, of opening a box that Kyle, who is in the chat there, Silver Knight Kyle, had sent us because he is a man of many talents, many experiences, many interests, knowledge, and I don't even know how else to explain it, but he had sent us a goodie box of things. So we're pretty excited to be unboxing this.
So here we go.
Here we go. And what we first have is a note. Actually, here's another
layer.
Another layer. So here's a note that we got. Mio and Joe, hope this all finds you with a smile. It's been great getting to know you, and I'm looking forward to many an interaction to come. Peace, love, and light, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you, Kyle.
It's been so great getting to know you as well.
Thanks.
And Cheryl, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
It seems that there are many of us who have anniversaries in January. 50 said last Friday.
Yeah. Let's try to cut this.
We might end up watching the Eternals on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Joe's not hot on the Eternals so much.
I just heard it was in that grade.
Here's what Kyle thinks about it. I'm sure he's seen it already.
Okay, so pull that out.
Okay, so here are our things.
U.S. Postal Service.
Ooh.
Wow, there's a lot of stuff in there.
Oh no, I see a. So let's start with that one. What we both see and kind of have laughed at. This is definitely for Joe. We're opening this up here. So the first thing that I see, this is the biggest thing.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So let's show.
Oh my
let's
God.
show everyone.
Henry, look at this. The yucks keep happening. Look at this. Look, there's water dripping, going to a drawer. He's like, what do you want from me? It's a weird bald-headed kid. I love it.
So,
thank you.
One of the running things that we've been talking about.
That's a golden age comic because it's 10 cents. So.
One of the things that we've been talking about on these live streams, we'll talk about a lot of different things. And for some reason, and I'm sure like someone can walk this back somehow, but Joe mentioned Henry, this comic book character. And this is something that started popping up in my life through Joe a little while ago, and I'm like, I don't know what to say about this. Like he's
she doesn't like the look of the character.
No, like weird looking kid.
I'll get used to it. It's going right over the bed. Hanging this up on the wall.
And because Kyle is who he is. Of course,
Yes.
he's like, Henry.
Henry's great.
JPS. Hi. Good evening. And look,
Henry.
Kyle had sent us a goodie box, and
Yes.
of course, the thing that we see here.
Carl Anderson's Henry.
Joe is
still 10 cents.
Joe is. Good to have you.
Thank you. It's wonderful.
Kyle says Eternals not too bad.
Okay.
One thing, Kyle, though, that you might not know about Joe is that he is a little bit of a
critic. I'm a little bit of a critic. So.
He don't like a lot of things. Woohoo, JPS! I know. I mean, he was. JPS was here too, and we were talking about Henry the first time.
I gotta smell it though. You know that old comic smell?
Yes.
Yeah, they should bottle that up and put it in cologne or something.
Yes. For single men everywhere.
Smell it.
No.
Just take a whiff.
No.
Oh.
Cheryl says, "I remember Henry. That's amazing."
Yes. I can't see. My eyesight's not so
I
good.
would love to know how many YouTube channels
1950
have talked about Henry.
1950.
We're one of the premier ones here, folks.
8.
Joe needs glasses.
Yes, 1958. Oh, this is great. Oh, that's awesome.
For the Henry fan who has everything, did you want to look at it while you show the folks?
Look at this old Kraft fudgies. Like what?
Kraft candies. Kraft fudgies are the best.
Are the best. Fudgies are the best.
Henry looks like he's related to Popeye.
Yeah, I know he does.
Does he?
No, he's not. He was in a cartoon with Betty Boop.
Then, in what capacity?
But the character is silent, pantomime. But I guess in the comic they said, "Well, we got to make him talk."
So he had a voice?
Yes. Well, he doesn't have a mouth, so.
Oh my god. Karma says my sister might know of it.
Of Henry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
His nephew.
I mean, this is, look at this panel. Him and the page fall out. Him and his dog. The doghouse. It's great.
So in relation to Betty Boop, who or what is Henry?
Henry is a comic strip character by Carl Anderson, and it was all silent. It's all silent, and I guess they tried to do a cameo of Henry with Betty Boop. It's a black and white cartoon where they team them up together.
Well, what are they doing?
He is running. She has a pet store or something, and he's just
and she's sitting
making
there
a mess, going, "Oh, Henry," or something, and he's letting all the animals out and making a mess. And
so he's just the guy at her store. He's not a friend, or he's not a.
No, he's a friend, but they don't really go that deep into details. So.
He's just there.
He's just there.
And she's probably just singing along,
yes.
or whistling as she works at her pet store, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
So strange. Now you have. Is that your first Henry book?
It is. Yes. It's my
his first
book.
Legit Henry book. Hopefully his last.
Look at this. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So the next thing we have here is, we were talking about Bloom County a little while ago.
Look at that.
So it's Opus and Bill, in A Wish for Wings That Work. Association for the Aerodynamically Challenged. Oh, this guy.
Yeah, it's great. I had no idea they did an animated film. You can see here, Bill the Cat. Opus, such a great comic strip.
This came up, I think, while we were talking about holiday stuff.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I've never heard of this before.
No,
so
either have I.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't really see a lot of Bloom County merchandise.
Can I see that?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Very cool.
Thank you so much.
And then it's like Santa hauling. Thank you so much, Kyle. Maybe this is what we'll do for
our anniversary.
Our anniversary is watch that.
And I can read you Henry.
Joe the other day read me. Anyway.
Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, do this first.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So the first thing. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Here.
Oh wow.
Dick Rudolph.
Rudolph. Pitcher. Boston. Wow, that's like a super old card.
It is tiny.
That's tiny. That's
it's like 2x3.
I assume maybe this came in as cigarettes, because that's how baseball cards started.
Right.
A pack of cigarettes. That is really cool. I don't know who Dick Rudolph is, but
JPS
I'm going to look him up.
Did you say Boston?
Boston.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to look.
JPS, are you familiar with a Dick Rudolph, who is a pitcher for Boston?
I don't know the year. I can't read it. But
you see?
It's numbered 18, so it must have been. That's really cool. It probably smells like tobacco.
I don't see. It's probably been a long time.
Yeah, long time. That's really cool.
I don't see a date.
He kind of looks like Jimmy Stewart.
He does a little bit, yeah.
I'm gonna pitch the damn
ball. So JPS says, I think this is a 1921 card.
Wow, that is really cool. Thank you so much.
It is very cool. I have never seen a baseball card.
Yeah, that's like going in my baseball card collection. I have a small baseball card collection. But that's really cool. Thank you so much.
JPS is a Boston fan. That's why I asked him.
That's really cool.
Kyle says 1919 hand cut candy card.
Oh, candy card. Okay. That makes sense. Because the cut is like, you can see someone took scissors and it's not quite centered there.
Mm-hmm.
So would this be on like the candy box, like on the back, like Sugar Crisp or something that you? Oh, it's true. Like
Kyle says that he sent me an email and I read them and I may have it may have slipped my mind, so I'm going to go back and read those messages again. JPS says, I feel that that's the Boston Braves, not the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. And Kyle confirms that it's the Braves.
It's the Braves, and it says he has the Toronto connection. Or maybe he's Canadian.
Or has a Toronto connection.
Toronto. Yeah. Babe Ruth actually hit his first professional home run in Toronto, so a lot of people don't know that.
And Carmen says, laughter is the best medicine. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of laughter here, or at least between Joe and I. I hope that maybe some of our laughter is if we're laughing, I hope you're laughing with us. No.
Addictive.
No. I'm just hoping that our laughter is like translating to other people laughing.
Yes.
It's like the most eloquent way of
Well,
saying.
I'm glad I can make her laugh. That's what I strive for. So.
But we were talking about how I don't think like I can really make Joe laugh.
She can. She does funny things.
I do funny things on occasion.
When she really breaks down, she laughs like Ernie from Sesame Street. She's got this like when she can't control it, she just starts like laughing.
Cheryl says, I love that Joe can make you laugh like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Heyo.
Kathy saying you have me laughing so hard I scared the cats. Our cats are nowhere to be seen as well.
Big John disappeared.
We're doing well, kiddo. Hope you're doing okay too. Kyle is saying he played for the Maple Leafs minor league team in the early 1910s. Went to International League Hall of Fame from that. Was the pitcher of that famed Ruth home run.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
There you go. Wow, that is really cool. That is really, really cool. Oh, thank you.
He does look like Jimmy Stewart.
He does.
Yeah.
Or Henry Fonda, I don't know. Grapes of Wrath.
Just like randomly going
on
like,
Golden Pond.
Old people older.
He's a 90-year-old pitcher. Damn it.
We have a
guitar pick.
A guitar pick.
Or bass
This is
pick.
Ditsko. Ditsko is actually my grandmother's name, so that's really cool. And the other side is Shonen knife, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. So that's a guitar pick from the band.
So I'm going to try to put it under the light a little bit better. Because the blue...
That's a bass pick, I think. I don't think they make guitar picks that big. It's for a bass.
How do you count 9? Ditsko. Kawaii.
That's cool.
Arigato! Like I said, it's really cool because my grandmother's name was Ditsko. How am I?
Yeah, it's that way. Too close.
It's cool. So Shonen knife. And Kyle says, I also responded to your last email with a photo of me in a similar PT shirt, though I'm 40 feet up a climbing rope, so not easy to see it. Because you were actually doing PT instead of like sitting on a couch with an Atari. Joe's calisthenics is like Atari.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. I have to take a look at that. And the other Shonen knife is...
It's like a sticker autograph.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Neat. Signed.
So, Ritsuko, Emi, and Naoko. And it's cute because Emi has a cat.
And that's like a little pocket knife.
Yeah. Because it's a shonen knife. Shonen means girl. Girls.
Were they like a stoner band?
No.
No. It kind of looks like a Grateful Dead type
artwork
or like something like Fish, or like were they a progressive
They're,
like hippie band sort of thing?
I wouldn't say they are. We can listen to them a little bit later on, but yeah. Sorry I didn't get off the tape resin on the pic where it was framed for so many years. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
It
fine.
looks beautiful.
It's a nice pic.
And Joe. Lastly.
Oh, what's this? Oh, come on. You didn't have to do this. Oh, look at this. Oh, man. It's a Joe Carter game walk-off home run jersey relic card. So
Cool.
this looks like the jersey he was wearing when he hit the home run, I think.
Well, a walk-off, but
It's hard for me to read the print. You are... God, my eyesight's bad. You are... received a Joe Carter game used jersey card from the Upper Deck Company. On the front of the card is authentic piece of legacy of jersey worn by Joe Carter, the official Blue Jays. Well, that's really cool, man. Thank you so much. That's cool. I have a few of these cards. Like not this one. A few relic cards I bought 10 or 15 years ago. Of players I liked, and I always wanted to get a Joe Carter, but I never could get one. So that's definitely going in my collection. That is super cool.
thanks, Kyle. That
is awesome. What a great package.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool, and it's Upper Deck too. So that's super cool. And they call him the mayor of Toronto, or the king of Toronto.
No, the mayor of Toronto. It was the folks on the MLB Network that called him that.
Yeah, and I remember him hitting that home run, and it didn't look good for the Jays at that time, and then he hit that home run, and just everything went berserk, and just such a magical moment in sports.
Yeah, for sure, especially for Jays fans.
Yeah. And for them to repeat too is like.
Regarding the Shonen Knife, Kyle's saying, yeah, they were kind of hippies personally, but their music was proto-punk.
Okay.
Yeah. They're cool. They're really cool. This is so great, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Wow, we got like baseball cards and guitar picks.
You have no idea,
DVDs,
Kyle.
Bloom County, Henry.
Yeah, the Henry thing, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kyle, I don't know.
She'll probably
You'll wake up in the morning and be like, what's that smoke? What's that smell? Burning. The other day, Joe somehow got a blister on his finger, and he he was doing something with some alcohol wipes, and he was going, something's burning. It's my blister.
Actually, I got this. I did say that. I didn't realize I got this. I went and I got her a sandwich from Tim Hortons and myself a coffee, and carrying it back, I must have burnt my finger on the coffee, which is crazy. So I was using sanitizer, and it didn't hit until a couple seconds later. It was almost like a cartoon, like there's a cat, strange. Like Sylvester or something. His tail's on fire and doesn't know.
But the funny thing is, like Joe is like, because he had alcohol in the blister, and he's like, something's burning.
I'm like, what is that?
And then all of a sudden he's like, ah!
It really hurt. It really stung.
And then for the next like 4 days, every time he would do he would hand wash or something like that, he would have his blister be like, ah, my blister. Funny.
So I'll be right back.
So Kathy said, I remember seeing them shonen knife back in the day. They were alternative with a bit of a 60s vibe, which is a very kind of a Japanese aesthetic. I think they still have like a lot of bands with sort of like 60s vibes, but pretty cool. What are we doing here? And Kathy's saying that box was amazing. It really was. It really was.
It was really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple things. I'm not one of those people. Well, actually, I've already told Kyle, or let Kyle know what what we're sending him. Oh, scary. But Kathy, there's something coming your way as well. But just
gotta get a box.
Just letting you know, there is something off to ya. Joe's showed up with something, so I think he wants to do a show and tell.
Yeah. So the other night, I went to. I think it was last week. Went to a Sally Ann, and it was like end of the night there. And I saw this on a shelf, and I couldn't believe I found this. It's like one of the banned Dr. Seuss books. McElliot's pool. So it's really cool. It's not like a first edition or anything, but it's cool to find these because you just can't find these things. And I never had this book as a kid. You've never.
No, I'm not.
Heard of it,
I've never been a.
So I actually read her this. She was in bed, and I read her this
I
book.
was like sick with fever in bed, and Joe's like, "I'm gonna read you a Dr. Seuss book."
Yeah, but it's actually a very. There's some really nice illustrations in this book too. It goes like color, black and white, color. So it's cool to find this just sitting on a shelf.
So just for context, around March of last year, there were 6 Dr. Seuss books that won't be republished because of racially sensitive content. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the books that were banned. The other ones are...
So this is the only thing in the book. Okay. So...
I wouldn't go there.
But it just, it's a guy in a parka, and they say Eskimo. And it's... I think that's they could have just changed the word
and I say that we don't know what the process was that went to that decision. And a lot of people are going to have some strong feelings about it, and there were strong feelings about how words and images are used. So I think that it's a very sensitive topic. So I think it's not as easy as saying they could have done this and that would have been okay. But again, like the context was that last March. I think that it was pretty well publicized that a bunch of 6 Dr. Seuss books were no longer going to be published moving forward. And I'm trying to look at. So the 6 affected titles are "And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street."
I did find
1937 that Joe also found. McElligot's Pool 1947 is the one that Joe just showed you. If I Ran the Zoo in 1950, Scrambled Eggs Super 1953, On Beyond Zebra 1955, and The Cat's Quizzer 1976. So it spans actually quite a bit of his work, Dr. Seuss's. But when it was first announced, there was a run in the reseller community to find these books because they just went like skyrocketing.
Yeah,
in
they were
terms-
going for like, $300, $400, $500 a piece
Yeah,
on eBay, but you can't sell them on eBay anymore. They ban them.
right. They don't allow
They don't
banned.
allow them to be sold there, and I think because of that too, a lot of the very first editions of Dr. Seuss, um, they actually went crazy in price too. Like ones that like at like first printing, like goes for like $500-$600, like in like kind of ratty condition. So it's kind of and I don't know, maybe they were worth something before, like Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham if it's first edition book, but it seemed like it just kicked off this thing.
Yeah, but I think it's cooled down quite a bit since
Yeah.
that last March. So the fact that recently Joe was able to
Find one, yeah.
this particular one.
Yeah, in Mulberry Street, I remember reading that as a kid, but it's one of those smaller ones. So it's
There
kind
you
of
go.
cool to find.
And then Joe has something
And then I
else
just
to
found
look
this today, which I love, Spy versus Spy. So I'll be reading that.
for. Maybe
So
Joe will
colored.
read it to me back.
No, it's all silence.
Oh, so
I don't know how I'm gonna pull that one off.
yeah, I'm gonna be reading it tonight. Although,
But it's not the original guy. It's this other guy that took over, I guess.
you mean the artist?
Artist, yeah. It's this other guy.
Because I'm like,
Peter
it's
Cooper.
not the original Spy.
No, because it started in the.
And which Spy isn't the original one?
No, the artist. Actually, a lot of people don't know there is a female spy, right there, and basically they're both sort of in love with her, and she uses each one of them to kill each other, or kill both of them by doing some sort of gag or stuff.
Mad Magazine, right?
Yeah.
Spy versus Spy.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool to find this. So.
So there you have it. That's the show and tell. The thing, and all the stuff that Kyle had sent us. Amazing. Thank you so
cool.
much. It's so cool.
Yeah, I love this. I love
if
the
like
cards.
we got like one of these things, it would have been like super cool. The fact that we got all of these things was like amazing.
Yeah, and Joe Carter was such a one of my favorite players on the Jays. Like that whole team, like it was just so exciting.
He's still, I think, like one of the most beloved Jays.
Yeah, for sure. And he, I know we went to a game a few years ago, and we missed him, but he was actually walking around talking to fans and around the TD Center there. And we didn't get to see him, but kind of heard him a little bit, like in the background. But.
Cool. And yeah, it's amazing to have all these things. It's really,
and the Henry
really
comic is great. It's awesome.
I just don't understand Henry.
No.
I just don't.
No, well, I mean, you know what? Look at this. So, I'll show you this. This is actually like more of a. So let's see if I can do this. Henry and his baby elephant. This might be too hard to do.
You're making people dizzy.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, he has this elephant. He doesn't know what to do with it. Then he sees, toothpaste. And then he has the elephant step on the toothpaste. And then he comes up with the brilliant idea.
This is riveting.
Yes. Get an extra squeeze of toothpaste out of that old tube.
This is what makes this a
There we go.
Premier YouTube channel. So, one of the things.
Brilliant.
When we lost like a bunch of, so a couple weeks ago, I was feeling like there was a video that I had put out, like not feeling when I wasn't feeling that great, and around that same time, we lost like a bunch of subscribers, and like none of this like I don't put too much stuff on it, but at the same time, like to lose like I don't know like 8 subscribers like in a very very short period of time, I was just like, oh, like I wonder what I'm doing, and
Henry.
I think it's because
Henry?
we're the premier Henry
YouTube channel.
YouTube channel.
All about Henry.
I think there's a very specific
Good golly.
market.
No, but I was saying.
Okay, but a couple of people have to go. So
okay,
let's just,
sorry.
Kathy says, I gotta get off to bed. The early start tomorrow. Love to you guys.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy, and have a good night.
Thank you.
And we'll talk soon. That's good. Thank you for dropping by, Kathy. Good night, good night. And then Cheryl's also happy to have seen the unboxing. Pretty cool items. A happy anniversary. Better get back to their company. Stan's sister and husband visiting for a week. They're watching the game but having some conversations. Yes. Nice. Thank you for joining us while you have company, Cheryl. Have a good night and hope the game is good too. We'll talk soon. It was a great unboxing. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you so much.
And Kyle says, I just sent along another photo. This one of how the Grinch Stole Christmas first edition, which if I hadn't already promised it to the kids, I would have shipped that to you.
No, that's okay.
Glad that you have.
Give it to you.
Well, no, of course he's got to give it to his kids.
It's a lot of money.
So terrible. But
it is. It's a cool thing to have. I mean, that's something
but like I said, like it's when you're not feeling good about a lot of different things, all of a sudden when 8 subscribers, when you have like a small channel like ours, drops off, it's like, oh, it's kind of sad. Yeah. But then I also realized that in order to post comments onto YouTube, so like if there was like a live stream coming up or something, to be able to just throw up a post, in order to do that you have to have like 500 subscribers. I didn't know that. So on one hand it's like, numbers aren't like that big of a deal, but at the same time it would be good to get to a place where you have some of the benefits that like YouTube gives people with like larger channels. So one of the things I'm hoping this year is to be able to figure out how to bump up, I guess, some of the numbers. And I mean, I have no idea how to do that. But to get to at least...
word, Henry.
Yeah.
I will bump up the numbers.
Yep.
I was saying to her, too, when she's like, oh, we lost some subscribers. I was watching a channel where apparently on YouTube, if you do a live stream, somehow with YouTube, you actually end up losing subscribers. Like the more you do like live streams, that's what the guy was saying. Like he doesn't know why you mentioned or whatever.
That. Yeah, because I've heard the opposite with some people too. Like they do live streams in order to get subscribers or to get people to watch. I guess the watch counts and stuff like that.
It's just like a bizarre, weird thing that happens.
But I mean, I also don't know how to figure out. Again, like it's such a weird thing. Like I don't care about numbers apart from the fact that they can potentially give us additional benefits, but also to make new friends too. That's really awesome. Because like making friends and having you folks
join in
and speaking with us and sharing things with us is like been so, like it means so much to me. Like it and especially like when I'm feeling down or feeling like I'm lonely and things like that, it's just been so amazing. So from that standpoint, like if we can grow numbers, like maybe more like-minded people at the same time, although I'm not like just totally more than happy with like how things are. But I also have this goal too this year to fill up this wall and to have 25,000 hearts on this wall, because I feel like to just have good vibes, both coming and going, with as many people as possible, I think is a helpful thing. It could be helpful. So those are the things that I'm going to be working on. It feels sometimes like really daunting, but it's and I feel like the last couple of weeks almost this kind of lost some time, because I was hoping to really get a start on that, based on Kyle saying, giving quoting Eleanor Roosevelt, is like, do one thing that scares you every day. And I've kept that in mind, Kyle. Like, I've been thinking about that every day, and um, it's been frustrating to me that especially last week I was having like just not feeling great, and I'm glad that it didn't turn into anything more serious. Really, really happy that it didn't turn into anything more serious, and that it's not going to stop me from going to the hospital and getting treatment. Even though it's not something necessarily to look forward to, but it's something that is necessary. So I'm glad that the fever stuff that happened last week, I'm glad that it happened last week rather than even this week, because if it did, it wouldn't have allowed me to get treatment again on Saturday, or during treatment, to have gotten sick would have been a crappy thing. So I'm thankful, but I also have like these goals, and I would love to be able to fulfill them. So one of the things, I know a lot of people who were with us have left, but maybe people will watch it in a later on or whatever it might be. But I've been thinking about this idea, and this actually came from Bob Saget, like I mentioned earlier, of doing a segment on YouTube called How Are You Doing? Which is that I would have a Zoom, not a Zoom call, but I think one of these sort of like live calls with somebody, like a video call with somebody, and just to see how they're doing. And if there's anything that I can help to cheer them up, or just to have a chat or whatever it is, and just to have a segment, because a lot of people, when they ask, how are you, they're not really looking to know how you're doing, or it doesn't seem as though they're really, interested, or just present to hear how things are really going. And I want to be able to just have like conversations with people where maybe I could just, have just to be able to connect via video like this, and just say, hey, how are you doing? And just have a conversation with them, and have that as part of this YouTube channel, because I think that it would be not just neat, but good in the sense that it would show people just having conversations with one another. It doesn't have to be anything big or monumental or anything like that, but I think that it's also like an important thing for people to experience, just somebody saying, how are you, and really caring about how they are. I don't know how I'll go about doing this. Maybe I'll reach out to a couple of people that I know to begin with, and see if they'd be open to it. But I don't know how many of you are still on, but any thoughts on this idea that I have? So it'll be like a different segment, I guess, of this channel, where I would have people reach out, I guess, if they're interested in having a conversation with me, and I would set up a video thing, and we'd have a conversation, record it, and put it up on this channel, and it'll just be called "How Are You Doing?" Any kind of feedback on that, or do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's a great idea, and I mean, that's the one thing with you. You're always trying and coming up with good ideas, and I think it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's a good idea?
Because I think you're a very caring and thoughtful person, and very outgoing too. And
I don't know that I'm.
you have a knack of talking to people. You talk good. The woods come out of your mouth.
Ow!
I'm sorry.
Stop. You've been
sorry.
like elbowing
I'm
me
sorry.
this entire time.
Sorry about that. The words flow out of your mouth really nice, you know?
Okay. That's great.
Like poetry or something.
I don't know if there's anybody else that's watching, or if they have any thoughts on this idea that I have, but it is something that I think I'll give it a try at any rate.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that I'm going to be doing in the next little while is making a video called or entitled what some things that I know for sure, having lived with a terminal diagnosis, in the next little bit. And so there's a few things that I feel like I know for sure, and I thought I'd just it's a different kind of a video that I've made on this channel, but I thought I'd do that. And for those of you who are maybe still left, it says that there's still a couple of you.
Yeah. 3 people.
If there's anything that you can share with me that you feel you know for sure, I'd really appreciate that. What's something that you know for sure?
I know for sure that you are very good at YouTube. You're very good at taking footage, setting up shots. You've got a knack for that. I can't do that. And even photos too. You just have an eye for it. So I mean, even to settle this up, it's crazy to me.
I don't know that I'm good at YouTube, because I feel like if I was good at YouTube, I would have figured out how to grow it, or have an idea of how to grow it.
Yeah, but see, what you don't understand is all the content that you're making is growing it, and it's like a plant. You put a seed in soil, and you put a little bit of water, and you put a little bit more water, and you put a little bit of sunshine. Put a little bit more sunshine, and next thing, voila, you got massive channels.
No,
that's how it works.
But that's the thing about this channel that is actually it's confounding me a little bit, because there isn't like little incremental growth. Like every so often, there's a bit of a spurt for some reason. So it could have been Zach's video. It could have been something else. Like there's usually a reason why like there is an addition, but there isn't like this small growth. I don't think people just stumble onto it and say, hey, this is cool, like I'll follow them along, I'll follow along with them. And I don't know, because my understanding is with most other channels, there is this thing where it's just like this, you keep uploading and people kind of add a little, like it grows a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
I mean, I know today you took some footage at the snowstorm, and you posted it, and us driving on the DVP, or sorry, the Gardner, and you said, oh, we already got a bunch of views on it, which is great. I think doing some stuff like that and sprinkling it in, and even this live stream I think has been very fun and entertaining. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, like I'm.
So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button.
I think all the
Hit
folks.
the thumbs up.
I think all the folks here.
Leave a comment down below.
But maybe if they're watching this as a replay, which is an interesting thought. But Kyle says, "I know for sure you guys are awesome."
Thank you.
And we know for sure
you're awesome. We're all awesome.
That sounds so insincere.
We're all awesome.
JPS says, this is interesting because I was recently thinking of human tropes, like something that everybody always does. Like when someone describes going to their first baseball game, they always say how green the grass is. So that's something I know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Certain human tropes. I had a few more, but can't think of any more right now. I know for sure I want that Atari hat.
You got it. You got it, son. No,
You see, like you say stuff and then like walk it
no,
back.
I
It's
can
just
I,
the
I can
worst.
tell you I can tell you where I got it. It was at Winners, which is maybe Marshalls in the States. It was like $9.99. I needed a new hat. My Jay's hat at the time was like filthy.
How did this turn into like a
sweaty.
giant
Well, I'm just
story?
telling them like it's.
I know, but you have to now send JPS your hat because
Yes.
you said that you will.
You got it, son.
So terrible. So maybe check your local Marshalls, JPS. You might have it.
Yeah,
They
actually
have an Atari
Marshalls and Winners or whatever. It's the same company. They do sometimes have cool rock shirts
or TJ
Maxx or pop culture type shirts. Sometimes they have Atari shirts too. Nintendo, and I've seen some PlayStation and AC/DC and and they're not that expensive, like $9.99, $11.99, and it's all like stuff that just ends up there. So that's where I got the Atari hat.
Mm-hmm. Kyle says, sorry got pulled away for a few minutes as the missus came home from work and I had to leave you playing in the background as I checked my script pickups and such. We'll have to catch up on that later. Okay.
Yes.
JPS says, okay, we have Marshalls.
Check it out.
Yeah. Or TJ Maxx.
Yeah. You may have to go like a couple times.
Everybody knows how Marshalls works.
No, because it's different items there.
I know, but doesn't everybody know?
I actually got a pair of Daffy Duck socks from Marshalls. And I mean, how often do you see Daffy Duck on socks? Never. You like that?
I don't even know what to do.
And I did get a Spy vs. Spy shirt at Marshalls. So they got really sort of offbeat stuff there. There's a lot of NASA t-shirts and swag there.
Well, firstly, we don't know if there's differences in merchandise that is available in Canada versus different regions of the United States. Yeah.
Plus, a lot of peanut stuff ends up there, like coffee mugs and T-shirts and stuff like that. T-shirts? Yeah, that's where I got that Christmas shirt of the. Yeah, that was from Marshalls.
Okay.
And sometimes there's records there too. They end up there.
Mm-hmm. So Kyle says we rock Daffy Duck socks in the Marines. So...
Yes, there we go. I thought it was Woody Woodpecker was the military sort of mascot. Like they would put him on bomber planes and stuff like that. I'm probably wrong.
I don't know anything about that.
But you know how soldiers used to put like characters on their helmets or their vehicles?
Right. Who did you say? Woody Woodpecker.
I thought it was probably Woody Woodpecker is more like drag racing and muscle cars and that type of thing. You know the Woody Woodpecker with the cigar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's more of a speed thing, like whatever. I don't know. We rock those Daffy Duck socks. But honestly, I love the Looney Tunes.
Oh, Joe
But-
loves the Looney Tunes.
But you do not, like in the 90s, there was a ton of Looney Tunes merch. But you really don't see a lot of it now, and I think that's because of that Space Jam movie that came out, which was terrible.
I think even before that, like Looney Tunes were just sort of out of favor.
Yeah,
No?
and it's yeah, I guess they were. But the Looney Tunes show on HBO Max is great, so it's anyway. Watch it.
Why are you looking at me?
She doesn't like the Looney Tunes
I do not
at
like
all.
the Looney Tunes. No. No, I don't think they're particularly attractive characters, and I don't understand why if you were gonna make like a bunch of characters, why you would make unattractive looking
But
characters.
you can kind of get the humor, right? Like that scene of Porky Pig's the librarian, and then some guy comes in who just wants to read a book, peace and quiet, and he's like this big brute. And then he's like, I want peace and quiet. So you got it? And he's like, yeah. No worries.
You're gonna tell me a whole like.
And
Looney
then
Tunes-
Daffy Duck is doing his laundry, like in the library. He's like, doing my laundry in the library. Da, 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 da. And he's like, why are you doing your laundry here? He's like, where am I supposed to do my laundry? At the post office? Anyways, I thought it was funny.
You had to just get there just for that, didn't you?
Yes, I had to. Where am I supposed to do my laundry? In the post office?
Kyle's like, I've got some original Peanuts paperbacks too.
Nice.
Nice. When I maybe hit the next package, if you like, maybe a Golden Age
Yes. Ooh.
Looney Tunes.
Ooh.
Why?
Looney Tunes are hilarious.
I have to admit though that Daffy's my favorite out of all the Looney Tunes.
She doesn't like Bugs Bunny. I can't believe that.
I mean, I don't care about Bugs Bunny. I don't have.
Yeah, you hate.
I'm kind of neutral about Bugs Bunny.
Foghorn Leghorn. She hates.
I hate that stupid rooster.
Mm.
It is so ugly and stupid.
I says.
Stop.
I don't know if you who do you hate more, Foghorn Leghorn or Yogi Bear? She hates Hanna-Barbera.
I hate Hanna-Barbera.
She hates Hanna-Barbera.
Oh,
I'm not a big Hanna-Barbera fan either. I mean, I used to watch the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo from time to time, but yeah, she hates Hanna-Barbera.
This is great. This is like, it was the payoff for that story that you told. JPS is like, I'm going to use that post office line the next time Kim mentions laundry for any reason.
That's great. No, but watch the clip. It's on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Joe's work is done. Where am I supposed to do my laundry? The post office?
The post office.
It's your. This is your destination for the premiere, Henry.
Yeah.
An obscure Looney Tunes content.
It's not. It's like 2 years old or a year old.
Okay.
It's on,
Yeah, but it could still be obscure.
well, I guess if you have HBO Max, it would be obscure. Because you wouldn't be able to see it, but because who has HBO Max? I don't
He gave
know.
himself.
What?
You gave yourself.
I did. I did. It was a joke. You didn't get the joke?
And then you kept talking.
Jesus.
Sorry. I am sorry.
People in the streaming would know the humor in that joke, because who watches HBO Max? When you have
Now he's still
Netflix,
explaining.
Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, HBO Max,
Oh my gosh. I am so sorry.
Oh, come on.
He gave himself the drummer. And I want to explain the joke.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You okay?
No, I'm not okay. I'm I'm glad to know, like, some people were saying that they were laughing.
Good. I'm not bombing. I'm not
Good.
bombing.
You're not bombing. Like, what is? You think this is some kind of a stand-up venue for you?
Yes. No. Come on.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm just happy people are having a good time and finding humor.
How would you even explain, like, what we do here?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I couldn't be a stand-up. It's too hard. Please, no.
all the people are clamoring. It's like, Joe needs to take it on the road. Okay.
Calm down.
I know. I need to breathe. Yes. So, well, this is great, though,
Mm-hmm.
for our surprise
Snow day.
snow day.
Snow night.
JPS, how is the weather where you are? Is it looking as icky as it is here? Oh, that's sweet. Kyle.
Sweet.
Gonna send you some pics of the Snoopy and Peanuts books and some classic Looney Tunes.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I love, like, 50s Peanuts. I
love 50s Peanuts.
I found a book, I think of the first maybe 3 years or 4 years of 50s Peanuts, like, all starting with that first strip. Oh, good old Charlie Brown, how I hate him. The beginning strip.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have kept it, but the spine was completely broken off the book. But I did read the whole thing. And
the 50s stuff is so
the 50s
cute.
stuff, and it's interesting to see how they evolve character-wise, because Charlie Brown was really cute. They all were, actually. So it's funny they don't use that on a lot of merchandise, like.
Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, it's usually the same.
I like all eras of Peanuts, but the 50s stuff I think looks so
super cute,
and so well drawn too.
Yes, so. And they're used more in Japan. You get you see a lot of, not a lot of, but a lot more of
you had
Peanuts
that
merch.
thermos, and it was
so
all
cute.
50s Snoopy and
Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
JPS, I was asking him about the weather there. Oops. He said you only got rain and a lot of wind. And you said a lot of wind, sorry.
I like wimp better. Change it from wind to wimp.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the 50s Peanuts stuff. The one thing about going to Japan is the Japanese love Snoopy.
Peanuts. Yep. Yeah, Snoopy and Woodstock.
Snoopy and Woodstock. Not so much the kids. Well, Charlie Brown shows up. The other kids show up. But
they have Snoopy stores in Snoopy Town in Japan. There's a bunch of
Snoopy towns.
I'm just gonna grab one thing just to show. But you keep talking.
I was one of the things that I really would love to do is go back to Japan on a big trip. And one of the one of the things that I actually would love to do also is go to the theme parks. So, we talked about sort of like Disney stuff earlier. Disney Sea is supposed to be one of the best Disney parks in the world. So I would love to be able to see Disney Sea, but also Osaka, Universal Osaka has an area that is Peanuts specific or Snoopy specific, and I'd like to be able to visit that. I don't know why I am obsessed with Snoopy stuff. I just am. I love Snoopy. Oops, Joe's trying to.
Break it.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
So Joe's back with.
This is something I think I got at Snoopy Town. It's just it's a simple little thing. So it's just like a little base with a plastic thing of him on the. I don't know how much yen this was. It wasn't a lot, but it's just a cool little
That looks
thing
like
to put on the
almost
shelf.
like a gotcha thing too.
Yeah, so we got that, and this was at the Snoopy Museum, and that's like a mug from Japan. So it's like 50s Snoopy.
That's from the museum. Yeah. Did we say that already?
Yeah. So and then it has the logo there from the museum, Snoopy Museum.
Just want to say goodnight to Karma.
Okay.
Thank you, Karma. Good night, you
Thank
two.
you, Karma.
Battery needs charging. Love seeing all the laughing. You guys are super cute.
Thank
you. Karma, take good care. I'll see you very, very shortly.
There's this one. This is from Japan.
So this I bought at Snoopy Town. Actually, no. I bought a version of this at Snoopy Town and was my favorite mug. I would use it for everything. And then I broke it. And I was so sad because there wasn't a way that I can find it over here, but somehow Joe was able to find somebody to ship it to him from Japan. For a Christmas. So
I had a hard time tracking that down, but I managed to do it.
I'm super grateful because I love it's my favorite.
And they have great merchandise, and it's made well, and I think it's just thought out. I mean, I think we both enjoy Peanuts and maybe collecting Peanuts, but not everything.
No.
Like, I think Hallmark does some cool stuff sometimes, but then they do a lot of crappy stuff that just doesn't look good, so that doesn't really appeal to us. It's got to have some sort of thought put into it.
My biggest problem,
like, this blanket is great.
It's great.
That my nephew sent you.
Yeah.
Like, it's
my biggest problem though is when we go to thrift stores and there are orphaned Snoopies, and I want to rescue all the orphan Snoopies. It's almost to a point where it's like we end up having like an orphanage, like a Snoopy orphanage here. And so at one point, I was going to start a Daisy Hill puppy farm, and like put Snoopies up for adoption for people to adopt, because I will rescue every Snoopy if I could. So when Joe will say, "Oh, look at this Snoopy," I just can't, because I will try to rescue it and bring it home. Yeah.
But not all of them. Sometimes, like, if you're if I'm in that place, I'll take a photo of whatever, and I'll send it to him. Like, do you like them? Do you want them? And like some of them, they don't make them very well. Like, they look weird or whatever.
Sure, but at this point, though, anything, like, I don't want additional things.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't.
But you're using them. You sleep on them. And you sleep with so.
Yeah, they are like pillows or like neck braces and all that kind of stuff. So Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, like I would try to rescue all of them. I mean, and I think that if we had the space and I had the bandwidth to like even start like an actual Daisy Hill puppy farm, um, the weirder ones would probably also get rescued too, because I just would try to rescue them all. But yeah.
Well, it's so interesting that Charles M. Schultz. Like I just have we like that's one of our connections. Like I have fond memories as a kid reading those comic strips for the first time
Hmm.
and the TV
And drawing them.
specials and drawing them too. I used to draw Snoopy. I used to be Snoopy crazy as a kid, and it's funny like how that is. Maybe it went away when I was a teenager or whatever, but I never forgot about the Peanuts.
Mm. Joe, there was a picture that he drew when he was a like a little boy. I think like 3 or 4 or 5, something
Mm-hmm.
like that, that his mother had kept of Snoopy, and it is such a good replica or like a good drawing of Snoopy, because usually when people draw Snoopy, they have like a really kind of distorted nose and it looks very strange. And even when adults draw Snoopy, they look very strange to
Yeah,
me. But Joe was able to draw Snoopy, um, like comic book accurate.
yeah. For
Like,
a kid, I
yeah, for
mean,
5 or 6, it's pretty. It was pretty insane. It's very cool. Yeah. So far, the answer to my question of what do you know for sure, we had JPS tell us about human tropes,
mm-hmm.
and also that what did Kyle say about us? That we're weirdos.
Yes,
No, I don't think he called us weirdos. But but Kyle, do you think there is something like that you might know for sure? Anything? I feel like I've, you know, felt like I didn't know. I still don't know anything really, but there are a few things now I feel like I know for sure. Um, so I'm not saying that I know everything or a ton of things. Uh, oh, one of your human tropes. I swear I had more. At least it was baseball related.
Mm.
But I could see you like sitting there or doing whatever it is that you were doing, and you're like, yeah, yeah, that's right. And then you had all these different like examples, and now you're like, now that you have to recall them, you're like, oh, the only one is the grass is really green. I was the only thing that I was gonna say though, that particular human trope, um, the grass is really green. When you come to the Sky Dome, you
AstroTurf.
go the AstroTurf is really green.
Well, they don't call it AstroTurf anymore, but
No.
it is fake grass, yeah. But actually, one thing that happened was there was, I guess, for the last couple years, they were talking about. Um, it's a little off topic, I guess, but Rogers selling the Sky Dome, and then because of the land is so valuable, condos and stuff, and putting the stadium somewhere else. But now they recently said they're going to refurbish it and like redesign it a bit inside, so keep the old stadium. And I think that's important because we have so many memories there, and
Mm.
I know separately we have memories there of concerts or games or events or stuff. So
Mm.
I'm glad. Uh,
That they're not going to be
yeah, they're not going to just rip it down,
rebuilding.
and
Yeah.
so I think there's something to be said for older stadiums that they should keep them. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something that's come out in the last couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
that they're not going to be rebuilding the stadium here. That they were that they had announced that they would do, that they were going to do last year. But so far, we're still waiting for baseball.
Yeah.
See how
Hopefully
that
it'll
goes.
be baseball. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Kyle just looked at the back of the marine photo I sent and saw that it was in Japan.
Mm.
Very cool. And I'm curious, Kyle, if there is like one thing that you could share with us that you might know for sure, apart from the fact that Joe and I are silly and weird. And time does fly though when we do these, hey? Whew.
It really does.
Yeah. I think for us, we have another snow day that's probably coming up. Kyle says, the grass is always greener over the septic tank. Irma Bombeck. All else fails. You have quotes.
I just wanted to mention, this is kind of a fun video for people to check out, so I'll be very quick. There's a guy on YouTube who bought a lobster from a grocery store and decided to keep it as a pet, and it's called Leon the Lobster. I don't know the name of the channel, but I'm sure if you Google that, you could find it.
Yeah, his name is Brady something.
Yeah, so this guy bought this lobster, and the lobster couldn't put it in a tank at home.
He bought a lobster from a grocery store, and he decided to keep it as a pet.
Yeah, so he nursed the lobster back to health because it could not open its claws because it had elastic bands on there. So he got it to open its claws, and he basically spent some money and bought like an even bigger tank for it, and threw some fish and stuff in there, and feed him. He really loves this lobster, and it's kind of a great story.
It's totally a great story.
So people should watch it, and
I'll link the video of the first one down below. But if in the meantime you want to,
he did a part 2. Like
he did a part 3.
A part 3. Yeah.
There are 3 parts of it right now. So the first one is when he brings it home, and then sort of like subsequent ones after that. So it is very interesting. The fact that he just is like, I'm just gonna take a lobster home from the grocery store and gonna keep it as a pet. So it's a very interesting story.
Yeah, and even all just the stress that the animals go through in the tank at the grocery store, just how happy and alive this lobster is in the tank. It's like playing with them and cleaning itself and cleaning its eyes. It's like kind of a fascinating animal.
It is very fascinating.
Well, you don't think of it like, because you're just like, oh, you go to Red Lobster and it's on your plate, and, bon appetit. But it's a really kind of a cool video.
Would you say that it's what's the in Jabba's palace, that monster?
Oh, the Rancor?
Rancor? No. The fact...
No, it's not like the Rancor.
Like just getting to know the Rancor?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it because Kyle might not have watched.
Oh, okay.
The book of Boba Fett, yeah. We're on different sides in regards to our thoughts about that, Kyle. But when you do watch it, please let us know so that we will be able to talk about it. But Kyle, I was asking him, is like the one thing that he knows for sure. And he says, life is what you make it. The love you get is equal to the love you give. And everything works if you let it. This I know.
That's a Beatles line. It's equal to the love you make.
Wow.
The love you take is equal to the love you make.
Well, but he's...
Yes.
It's true, though.
It's true.
It's true, though. Yes, so... yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Thank you for hanging with us.
Yeah, it's been super fun. Super fun.
And
Kyle, thank you for sending all the stuff.
Yes, all the stuff.
It's crazy.
Amazing. So fun. So fun. And even though it was something where we didn't really give a lot of um, uh, I don't know what's I think I've now hit with chemo brain after like a year and a half. Um, like we didn't give a lot of time for people to know that this was happening today. That we had
Yeah,
some really awesome
it was
people
spur
show
of
up.
the moment.
Yeah,
So.
no, I'm just saying like it's cool that people showed up and we
Mhm.
had a good time. Kyle saying my mantra for over 30 years really helped in times of combat. All is fair in love and war is hell, and hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and no time was being shot harder than heartbreak. Oh wow. Mm. A sensitive man, Kyle.
What does Rambo say?
I don't know what Rambo says. What does Rambo
To be a
say?
war, you gotta become war, or something like that. So, I don't know what the line is exactly.
Thanks, sir. But we are so incredibly thankful.
Yes, this was
for um
Henry, I may go to sleep with this. I don't know.
oh no.
No.
That's how Joe sleeps. Exactly like that. Over Henry.
It's like what's it? Newt from Hercules.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Lots of therapeutic, healthy laughter today. Hope you had some laughter too.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Have a good time all the time. Yes, I agree with that. I hope it was fun for you too.
Yes. Rambo is a warrior poet.
Was he?
Well, he would. Yeah, I guess so.
Is that what he would consider himself? Or do you know that that's what he's?
There's a line in the movie that he says something like that. Spinal Tap. Yes. Another classic.
Have a good time all the time.
They just don't make good movies anymore. You know, like Spinal Tap, Rambo, all the movies from the 80s, and they just don't make movies like that anymore. It's sad. So sad. Sound like an old man. Darn.
Some of this might be because Joe wasn't like rushed home from work and just like threw himself on
Yeah, it was nice
live
just
stream.
to
Yeah,
not work.
so apart from endangering our lives out on the
Well,
roads.
we had a nice drive. Like I drove slowly and safely. I avoided people.
That's always good.
It's always good to
it's not usually
not
something
run
that,
over people.
It's not usually something that I do, but
No, but I was very cautious of people walking on the roads, and I was cautious of cars behind me. And I was going like 20, I think. And there was some truck like just coming up right behind me, and you were saying, "Oh, the guy looks pissed off" or whatever. I'm like, I don't care. He can wait. Like I'm not wiping out because of him. So yeah, it was a nice little ride, but just always reduce speed when there's snow. It's my tip.
That's the one thing Joe knows for sure.
I know snow is slippery. It's wet, and it can freeze, and it can cause accidents. Because we wouldn't even have this live stream, we could still be sitting on the Gardner, like wiped out, waiting for a tow truck.
I actually purposely watched Mac and Me today. Mac and Me.
Oh my god, that is like the McDonald's ET. McDonald's did some movie called Mac and Me. I've never seen it actually. I know about it.
You guys are like.
So they did their version of ET, so they could put French fries in there, I guess.
Like product placement.
Yeah, but they did that movie, Mac and Me.
So that they made this movie so that they can do this product placement.
have the alien eat McDonald's food.
Alien.
I think, yeah, because he's E.T. But it's called Mac and Me.
Okay, my brain isn't gonna
I
do.
gotta watch it sometime.
My brain is not gonna do the
That's
flips and stuff like that.
That's
to
one of the 80s movies I missed.
have
as
an
a kid.
understanding of what that even
I
means.
saw Gremlins. Gremlins
What
2.
are we all talking about right now? Just
We're talking about 80s
1 second.
films.
Kyle, I'll send along a drawing that my friend Romeo Tangal of DC Comics did of me all Ramboed. Oh wow! And with my current face.
Nice.
How cool is that to have that? Jeez. And JPS said, had a 4-hour shift with a client. We just watched TV, so I picked that movie. Joe, it's as ridiculous as you've heard. I must see.
Oh my god. You know what? I watched, when Norm Macdonald passed away, I watched a whole bunch of clips of him where he was on Conan ripping Carrot Top, because Carrot Top did a movie, Chairman of the Board, it's called. And I don't remember that movie, so I was kind of curious, and I watched the trailer on YouTube, and I actually tried to watch the movie. I could not get through it. Like, 2 minutes into it, I was out. I was just like so bad.
JPS says, had a 4. Nope, we already read that one. It's an ET ripoff. As you or I just made it randomly, put a McDonald's commercial in it and called it a real movie.
Yeah. McDonald's is evil.
Well, that sounds crazy.
I know. Actually, even those videos of McDonald's Land,
Yeah.
like all the characters and stuff, like it's so, like Grimace was evil, like in the beginning. He was the foil to Ronald McDonald, and then they made him a good guy. And then we watched the whole Burger King thing.
So who's the bad guy? The Hamburglar?
Yeah, I guess so. But he's he's just trying to steal cheeseburgers.
Hamburgers.
The Grimace was like evil, and then they made him good. And then we watched some of the Burger King, like how they made him kind of weird and creepy.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
like where he's just like sitting in bed with a guy, like staring at him. Like it's just
so strange.
Yeah, Burger King's weird. They had they tried to copy the McDonald's.
Sure, of course they would.
People.
Mac and Me was a long-running gag of Paul Rudd's on Conan O'Brien, where every movie clip he was promoting was just a silly bit from the movie. Went on for over 15 years. So it was a way of keeping like McDonald's, like giving them a free.
Was Paul Rudd in Mac and Me as a kid?
Probably not.
Yeah, because he was in one of the Halloweens.
It was probably just a joke. Like I could see Paul Rudd just being a guy who's into just like weirdly like surreal things, and how to make that a running bit. I could see that happening.
Yeah, the Hot Ones episode with him is really good.
Yeah, that's the one Kyle told us about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry.
Because we were talking about Hot Ones, and Kyle was like, watch the Paul Rudd one. So we did, and it was really funny. And we were like, oh, like he's vegetarian, and in the middle of it, he's like, no, I'm not actually vegetarian. Trying to eat less meat. It's like, that's good. That part was funny too. And Kyle says, nope, it was just a joke. Never once showed a clip from his own movie. JPS also says, Red's not in the movie, just love messing with Conan, and the clip he used is amazing. You can see those Red Conan clips on YouTube, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah. I was half like, you guys are pulling my leg when you started talking about this Mac and Me stuff.
Conan was great, I think.
Yep.
He was great, I think.
Conan?
Yeah, him. I liked Letterman, like back in the 80s, I guess, maybe early 90s. And then probably Conan. I never got into Jay Leno or anyone else.
Mm. Leno was definitely a different era kind
Yeah.
of a guy, I think.
Yeah, late night TV talk shows suck now. So.
When's the last time you watched them?
Never. I've seen clips, and it's just not the same.
It's certainly not the same. It's certainly not the same. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, maybe we should wrap it up. I don't know.
Yeah. I think. I wonder. We had some energy tonight, and like, maybe some of that energy did come from.
Yeah, for sure.
From you know, not having to rush home and stuff like that. But it was great. It was so much
it was
fun.
wonderful. We had a wonderful day. We had a wonderful live stream.
Yeah.
We had people. We had laughs. Thrills, chills, spills.
And all these treats from Kyle, which is so
treats,
cool.
yes, we got. It was like Christmas.
Here we go.
It was like Christmas. Christmas came early.
Kyle, I will let you know
Late.
if Joe actually sleeps with Henry beside him, because that wouldn't.
Yeah, this is going to be super interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. I've had some weird sleeping stuff recently, so I'm hoping that tonight it'll be getting me back into a good, decent sleeping schedule, because sort of like the weird sleeping on and off thing that has been not so great the last little bit, but wish me luck on that, and so glad that we decided to do this today, and so glad that everybody was able to make it. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we might, who knows, go do another random live in the next little while, but otherwise it'll be not this Thursday but the Thursday following in our regular scheduled live. But I hope everyone keeps well, and that you're not subjected to this level of snow that we've had up here.
Crazy. But it's pretty to look at.
It is pretty to look at, but I mean, it's like businesses are closed and all this kind of stuff, which is, you know, kind of like tricky up here because things have like some lockdown stuff going on too. Yeah.
If we had a couple, if we had a couple tauntauns to ride around on, it wouldn't be so bad. Just go ahead. Who's around?
Kyle says like Robin Williams' first voiceover part was in a Wings movie in Wings here. In a movie? In Wings there.
In Wings there. In a movie in Wings there. What, Mac? No, not Mac and Me.
I'm not sure how to read that. I'm not reading it properly, Kyle. JPS. Good laughing with you. See you next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping in, JPS.
Thank you.
And remember that laundry.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do that.
What am I supposed to do? In the post office? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. The Blood Counting movie. Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I guess I haven't looked at the credits or anything
I
like that.
haven't seen the date on it because I can't see the print.
Because we're old people. In our premiere, in this premiere channel where we talk about Henry and obscure Looney Tunes stuff. So, for those of you who, I mean, the people who are here, I think know what we're about. But for those of you who may be watching this as a re-watch, whatever, after we went live, I don't know why you would be watching all the way through to here. But if that's something that you did, like, thank you very much for watching, and please consider subscribing. After all of this, I should do these kinds of things in the beginning, but no, because again, we are the premier YouTube channel for Henry and other obscure things. So Thank
Well,
you.
thank
Yes,
you.
what were you gonna say?
It's
The
almost
never-ending live stream.
it's almost like an adult's show and tell, you know, like
Adult show.
no, I mean not dirty stuff. I'm like items, you know, not like privates. It's like just items that people send and items that we find, and it's like a show and tell, right?
Adult show and tell. Well, thank you very much for participating in our adult show and
Yes.
tell.
It's not that funny. Come on. Bye-bye.
Good night. Thank
Good night.
you. We'll see you all
Thank you
very
for sending this
soon.
stuff, Kyle. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kyle, and thank you. And also, brutal. Kyle had a really great appointment last week. So thank you. Like, just so, and we went to the Marian Shrine of Gratitude, a place that we go here every so often, just to pay our respects to the shrine. It's known for longevity and healing. And before we heard about the outcome of your appointment, we had gone and we had thought about you there, Kyle. So we're really glad to hear that you had a good appointment last week. Kyle says, I'm about to be interviewed out of Boston this Saturday for a YouTube channel about my comic collection. Not sure when it'll air. Oh, please let us know.
Let us know.
And that's amazing. Out of Boston. For a YouTube channel about my, that's so great. That's so great. Please let us know. And we will all connect again, hopefully very soon.
Bye. Good night.
Good night. Take care, everyone.
Wait, I am a Marine, so.
No, don't.
No.
He is a civilian.
Wearing a Marine shirt.
With a Marine shirt. Good night, everyone.
Good night.